In graphic design, written text that is made up of typefaces is also treated as font. Each word and sentence has a meaning in a particular language, but apart from that, the word or sentence itself is treated as a visual form in a visual composition. Now students, all of us are familiar with what color is. We all have loved coloring when we were kids. But students, today I will tell you the meaning of color in context with a graphic design. Yes, color is the basic and core attribute of visual perception, and therefore it is the most effective element of graphic design. Can you imagine a world made up of only black, white or grey shades? Color is studied in physics, psychology, cultural studies and many other disciplines of knowledge. In fine arts and graphic design, color is studied to understand its visual properties such as hue, luminosity, that is intensity and value. What is grayscale? Grayscale is an ordered arrangement of white, black and various tones generated by mixing of white and black in different proportions. When black and white are mixed in equal proportions, then the resultant tone is called grey or medium grey. If there is more amount of white and less black, the resultant tone is called tint or light grey. If there is less white and more amount of black, then the resultant tone is called a shade or dark grey. Hue is a unique quality of color by which a particular color is identified. Due to this quality, eyes can differentiate one color from the other. The color red is called red because eyes recognize the quality called redness of the color. The same applies to other colors too. Value. Value is a relative darkness or lightness of a color hue in relation to a grayscale. Blue color with light value comparable with light grey values on the grayscale. Luminosity is a very important concept. So let's see what is it. Luminosity is the brightness or freshness of a color hue. When a color hue is pure, it is brightest. When a color hue is mixed with other color hue or black or white, it loses its purity and brightness also. Graphic designers always try to preserve the luminosity of the color hue. If you go on mixing again and again with different color hues, then finally the resultant color will be dull. Green color with maximum luminosity on the left side of the rectangle decreases luminosity as it is mixed with blue color towards the right side of the rectangle as shown in the image. Do you know what texture is? A visual texture is the characteristic of a surface that creates an experience or the feeling of touch in a visual composition. Many a time, designers create an illusion of a tactile experience. This is termed as stimulated texture or implied texture. Designers work with simulated texture as well as real texture or both. When we run our fingers over a stone or a bark of a tree, we experience the tactile feeling. The tactile experience could be smooth or rough, and most of the time it is very difficult to express it in words. Designers create such tactile experiences through their designs by using colors and any available material on a particular surface. Designers also try to generate the same effect or an illusion of the same tactile feel by using colors alone. People appreciate designers' skill in creating such an experience or creating illusion. Texture also helps in creating and enhancing subtle feeling and mood. This group of elements govern the placement and interrelationship of the basic elements such as dot, line and form in a visual composition to enhance the visual impact of the composition. So students, let's first talk about alignment. When a group of elements in a composition are arranged in a vertical or horizontal manner in such a way that they fall in line, then this arrangement is called alignment. The elements can be arranged in a diagonal manner also. It is an arrangement of basic elements of graphic design that helps in organizing various elements in the composition. It can be parallel or angular arrangement. Direction is perceived always with reference to the observer, with reference to the frame that contains it, or with reference to the other major forms in the context. Next is visual thrust. It is an arrangement of graphic elements that helps or guides the audience's eyes to move in a desired way in the composition. It literally forces viewers to move in the expected direction. Above mentioned directional elements contribute to generate visual thrust. It is also termed as visual momentum. Do you know what is figure and what is ground? Visual elements in a composition occupy space. The space occupied by the majority of visual elements is called positive space, and rest of the space in the composition is negative space. Students, all of us experience Earth's gravity and associate heaviness or lightness with it. Thus, the notion of gravity is established in our mind. In the context of visual composition, we tend to attribute the notion of gravity in terms of visual heaviness or lightness, stability or instability to individual elements or group of elements in the composition. Therefore, big shapes in the lower part of the composition appear heavier and small shapes in the upper part appear lighter in the composition. Visual gravity is also termed as visual weight. All designs have some purpose or an intention. Graphic works make an impact on the target audience. For example, an advertisement in a newspaper not only communicates the information, but because of appropriate graphics makes an impact. This is possible due to the proper use of intentional elements. There are three types of intentional elements: aesthetic, content, and function. We will discuss all these three in details. So first, let's understand what is the meaning of aesthetic. When a concept or an idea derived from nature is expressed using dots, line, color, texture, shapes, etc., it is called representation. The representation of a concept or natural forms is called realistic. If it is depicted as it is called stylized. If the representation is decorative and ornamental. If the representation eliminates unnecessary details and the representation is minimal, then it is called abstract. All the styles produce distinctive visual and thematic impact. A message or a theme of the design is called the content. The theme can be historical, socio-cultural, eco-friendly or scientific, and so on. It is a purpose or application of the design to deliver results. Design can be informative. For instance, it can create awareness about something or provide information about something. Design can be expressive, that is, it can be used to express thoughts or emotions. In that case, the function of the design will be termed as expressive function. Sometimes, graphic design is used for giving instructions to operate an instrument or machine or a kit, like science kit. Graphic design is used to design a textbook, instruction manual, educational CD-ROM, or it can be used as a teaching tool. In all such cases, the function of graphic design is instructive function. In advertisements, many a time, graphic design is used to create an impact. So students, today we had a discussion about the elements of graphic design. Hope you remember everything. In our next program, we will discuss about the principles of graphic design. Till then, take care.